Yeah,
We're
here
live.
all together.
Okay, so we are live. It is Cloud Underground and WebCraft. Welcome, Stephanie. Everyone, big round of applause. And to introduce what's going on today. So normally on our Stories from the Underground, because this is Stories from the Underground episode 6, right?
That's right. Yeah. Episode 6.
That's right. We've been doing it for a little bit now. And now that we're on episode 6, we've been talking about the things that our community has been doing, and we've been, talking about how you can meet people in our community and get involved, all that exciting stuff. But today, we're actually bringing the community to our live stream because Steph has been around for a long time. So I'm going to first start by just doing a high-level introduction of everyone and how we're going to do this today. And then Laura is going to interview Steph here. And you're going to learn all about how Steph started with an idea that she was able to then go from ideation to innovation to then transform her ideas into something that's real, which is what she's working on, where now she's approaching the transformation, which takes forever. We always talk about these things that people do or whatever, but it's like business moves. There's a saying, business moves at the pace of business, which if you've done business, then you know that pace of business is slow, very painfully slow. And if you try to go too fast, it actually kind of makes it slower. And then business will strong arm you into suffering if you try to make business move faster than it really wants to. So anyways, the last thing I'll say, and then I'll just hand it over to Laura, and then we'll start this interview, is if you check out our website, we were going to do a huge update that we announced was going to come out Monday. We're actually pushing that back one more week. We keep delaying these, but we're going to put the official date that all of our updates are releasing on the website by Monday, so that that is no longer something that you have to watch these streams to remember when we're doing our next big update. But there is a huge update to all of our software, all of our trainings, and all of that on our website at cloudunderground.dev. If you check it out, the best way to get started is to check the
the RPG of Life Incubator.
That's right, the RPG of Life Incubator. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the RPG of Life Incubator is basically something that we always maintain. So we actually use it ourselves for anyone who we're trying to help kind of get off the ground. Because the RPG of Life Incubator is a free resource that has enough to do what you need to get your own business off the ground. And then anything that costs money just helps you speed things up or move things faster in some way, or learn things that you may or may not know already. But the RPG of Life Incubator is a free resource that's enough to start a business today. If you want to go start a business literally today. So get going. Check out our website, cloudunderground.dev. And with that being said, Laura.
Well, first I want to say welcome, Stephanie. We're so excited to have you here and have you in-house. And we're so excited it's been really fun and interesting for us to kind of see the whole evolution of WebCraft. We were just talking about how it was about 18 months ago that I think you kind of entered the dojo, and then we all vibed, and it all worked out.
Yeah, it's amazing. Real stuff. It sounds like you guys hear all this stuff, but Steph's literally in there doing engineering, which we'll get into all that. It's
absolutely
really exciting stuff.
So I want you to tell our viewers a little bit about what is WebCraft and where did that idea come from for you?
Oh, for sure. Thank you guys so much for having me. So excited to be here. About 18 months ago, like you were saying, I joined your Discord community, the DevSecOps Dojo, and there was a lot of talk about starting your own business. If you have an MVP, take your ideas, make them bigger, change the world. And I had been following Nato on LinkedIn for a long time too, and kind of seeing his motivational messaging about entrepreneurship. And I'm like, hey, I want to do that. I can take a chance, dare to try. So that's how I started WebCraft, really under your guys' community, with your support and the community support, and just trying to reach for the stars, literally. Life is short.
That's so
go
true.
For it.
Absolutely.
If you have an idea, why not give it a chance?
Oh, I love that. That's so amazing. That's really the best messaging we can put out there, really. And I'm glad that you kind of that resonated with you, and we hope it resonates with other people. So, okay, so tell us, what is WebCraft?
Okay, so WebCraft, number one, is a web accessibility company, and we are creating AccessOps, accessible security development and operations. And at WebCraft, we take web accessibility, Section 508 compliance to be exact for any web accessibility folks out there, and we combine that with cybersecurity. Zero trust methods and monitoring and compliance. And we combine that with web accessibility compliance to make tech not only more accessible, which is the right thing to do and the equitable thing to do for the community, but also making things more cyber secure, which in this day and age is critical. If you have a tech company of any kind, you need to have your cybersecurity on point. So that's what WebCraft brings to the table: cybersecurity solutions combined with web accessibility solutions, seeking to level the playing field for everyone and also have it be safe and secure. Yeah,
That's awesome.
with some gamification, but I don't want to go
really
too
amazing
crazy.
stuff. Yeah, the rabbit hole gets very deep because like there's a how.
hole.
Like, how do we do? Well, I guess maybe that'll be a question that'll come up.
Yeah. So Stephanie, I want you to talk to me a little bit about because I know in your like your day job, you're a disability advocate. You know, how did that play into the formation of WebCraft too? You know, I'm sure you see a lot of crazy stuff out there and people who aren't getting what they need just because of lack of accessibility services.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. At my day job, I've been in government and nonprofit disability work for over 10 years. I started at the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis, and since then I've worked at a number of nonprofits. The one I work at now full time is a lot of disability advocacy. So we get clients in our community locally coming into the office who are facing a number of accessibility, whether it be physical challenges in the community or advocacy problems with government services. So my job there, I have to be a passionate advocate, be able to look at a situation, see what the problems are, and try to find a solution within current means. So I take those strategies I use to help the community of persons with disabilities the same way at WebCraft. We're trying to bring solutions, not really locally, but to scale. So with web accessibility at WebCraft. So these inequity problems you see on the web with inaccessible design of websites, we want to correct that at WebCraft. And definitely the strategies of being passionate about advocating for persons with disabilities has helped a lot in building WebCraft and, kind of having the chutzpah to see it through and not just like, oh God, this is tiring. This is hard.
Totally.
Why do I have all these emails? Like, if you care about something, you push through, you keep going. And, I really care about what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that definitely comes across. And
absolutely.
I think the world needs like more Stephanies.
People who care. People who really care. Yeah. And you care.
Absolutely. I mean, because
possibly too much.
enough to try to change the world with all this work that we're doing. So it makes it worth it.
You want to change the world. I mean, that's the goal. We're not going for local here. We're taking this global.
That's right.
We want world change.
And it's like, because like people don't know how long you've been working on this. Like, Steph, how long have you been working on this? So that people really is like, let us sink in, folks. Like, here goes.
It's been at least like in the IT sector, like learning cybersecurity and web accessibility, probably a good 4 years of committed self-learning where I'm looking at a topic, digging in, looking at the code, scripting, engineering. My DHS trusted tester for Section 508 conformance, which is a web accessibility standard in the United States that's enforced by federal contracted vendors. That certification alone took a good 8 months, like staying up till 4 a.m.
That was a tough process. I
brutal.
remember you going through that.
Valuable.
Talking to you in the Discord.
I was up late every weekend night, like burning through burning through the candles.
The midnight oil.
The midnight oil.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's
burning
that's
through
the
the
phrase.
midnight oil. It was like 6 to 8 months intense just for the web accessibility piece alone.
Oh, sure.
Compliance.
And everyone, that's just one part, by the way.
That's just one tiny part.
That's right.
One tiny part. prior to that, being just in assistive technology, working as an assistive technology specialist locally at my day job, getting the experience of working with JAWS, screen readers, Dragon, voice to text, accessibility features of different platforms. I did that for a good 3 years prior to even starting in web accessibility. So it all tied together nicely, though. Like assistive technology, this is why the website needs to be able to read that.
It's like you get to really see in your day-to-day like why these things are important. Because I think a lot of people, especially people who don't have disabilities, don't necessarily appreciate the challenges that people with disabilities have just doing normal day-to-day things.
Yeah, and we use a lot of the curb theory that not only is more accessible web design great for persons with disabilities, but it's also good for everyone because how many of us don't have a disability and are probably using Siri all the time? That's assistive technology, voice to text. Just creating
that's such a good point,
more accessible products is good for the disability community, which is my number one priority, but it's also good for everyone. It's really smart market strategy because you're hitting an audience that's much broader, especially with folks getting older, the aging in place community.
Oh, of course,
You know, they're losing their hearing, their vision. So you want to create products that are marketable to people of all age ranges. So
absolutely,
by going accessible, you hit all of the key target markets you could probably not hit otherwise.
That's such a good point too. And it was funny because that you bring that up because I'm thinking about my own mother who's getting into her 70s, and she had an incident where she fell recently because she like fainted and fell, and my brother he lives with her, but he was like out of the house, and so it was like this whole ordeal, and you know, when my grandma had one of those like things that if you fall, you press the button and it's on your neck and they like come and rescue you.
Like life alert.
Exactly, a life alert. But my mom was like, she's a little too proud for the life alert, which I totally get. But now, like, you can get your smartwatch.
Yeah.
You know, and I had noticed that function on my Samsung watch that it has like fall detection, like a few days before this even happened to her. And then when she went through it, I was like, Mom, you need to get a smartwatch so that when you fall, it'll call emergency services. You know, my brother's there, but he's not always there. He's got a life too, you know, so it's not, you're right that these sorts of functionalities benefit everyone. So
and like oftentimes you don't, even if you don't need some accessibility today, you don't know you actually really need accessibility until you need it. You got a broken leg, or you got in a car accident, or something happened, or you know, you get really sick one day. I mean, life is long if you don't just like, if you're old enough to be building a career and things like that, it's like there's a lot and hopefully a lot more ahead, and you want to be able to maintain your ability to have access to doing what you're doing. And then, you know, so even if someone doesn't think they need accessibility, people need it.
They might.
Everyone needs it.
I think in my ADHD rantings, because I do have ADHD audience, forgive me, the curb theory in accessibility. So when you go to a store, you're often gonna, like if you have a cart, you're gonna use the curb. You know, the accessible curb.
Right. Yeah.
You're not gonna just go over
Try
the step.
Get your
so it's a pretty good example of how web or accessibility in general can benefit a larger population than it may have been intended for. Like and that smartwatch feature is amazing. I know Apple Watches is really good. My friend the other day like fell. He's a wheelchair user, and like his Apple Watch on his phone immediately was about to call 911 if he didn't, you know,
amazing,
within a couple seconds that he was okay. So these are great things that can help a lot of folks.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Assistive technology has come a long way.
That's incredible. And so it's like, you know, and the more that like your vision grows, then really it's like, well, this is one thing that Steph has like run into, is like wanting to bring like accessibility into like things like cybersecurity. So I come from the cybersecurity industry myself, and one thing that I always had gripes about, because I have to just deal with like disabilities things, is if you try to talk to people about accessibility largely in the cybersecurity industry, people will say answers that are similar to something like, oh, well, it's already there. It's like, oh, you just use a keyboard, or like, well, everything's already accessible, or well, you can't make it more accessible. And pretty much like the way that things
Bunch of
are.
excuses.
Yeah, people don't.
Yeah.
People act like someone didn't invent a computer to begin with. It's like someone had to think like, wouldn't it be better if we had a computer that end users, like the everyday person, could use? If everyone had that attitude with like what all these accessibility things we're talking about had that attitude, we wouldn't even have an iPhone. We wouldn't even have Apple Watches. We wouldn't even have the personal computer that everyday people can use, because the whole point of, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you go all the way back to like when Apple and Microsoft were starting to make their computers, you can do Google, you can do some research, you can watch some documentaries on this if you really want to know. But dig deep, what you'll learn is that the whole idea of building the personal computer was to add accessibility to computing. And then it's like that accessibility that was added, it's like the world just decided that that was the limit of accessibility. Like, well, wow, someone made accessibility, so forevermore this is just where it will, and we'll add teeny tiny little additions here and there. And then still to this very day, you still see mostly Apple making the largest strides in accessibility, and almost no one else.
Yeah.
Apple wasn't like started by people who had like all kinds of money at first. They had to make the money, and they had to have the idea and do it.
But they were innovative. I think that's like the key piece of all of this, right? So Stephanie, tell us a little bit about what's innovative about WebCraft and what you're trying to do.
Oh, good transition. Very good.
Yeah, she's got this.
Yes, nice. I was just going to say, at WebCraft, we're looking at the kernel level for accessibility, kind of like what you were just saying, Apple, Microsoft, their operating systems have become well known, especially Apple, in my opinion. They have really amazing accessibility features, and we want to take it further. Something that's more universally compatible. We're going with a Linux operating system and kind of scripting some stuff all the way to the kernel level that will make some software and operating systems at the kernel level that are more accessible, both from a web accessibility standpoint, taking the back end and programming our front end, but also we're looking at cybersecurity compliant methods that just have better features built in that will protect your data. Our data is pretty important these days, and it's at risk.
Course, yeah.
It absolutely is.
That's
it's
so
at
true.
risk.
Yeah.
People don't even all know it. It's like some people don't realize just how at risk your data is.
So, and then at WebCraft too, we're starting with a cybersecurity awareness learning game. So gamification, video game design. That's a little bit in my background too, from doing a master's at USF. But I love gamification. I've been gaming since I was in grade school. Nato and Laura are gamers, so we spend some nights doing some gaming. We mix in some fun into our testing.
That's right. Yeah.
Life is too short. You really gotta enjoy what you do, and if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. So that's kind of the motto.
Well, cool. It's been really fun and like, again, interesting to just see how this whole project has evolved. And we're excited that you're able to, take the Underground Nexus and use it in an innovative way that's also going to be helping really everyone.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm so thankful to Underground Nexus being around to make everything possible at WebCraft, because WebCraft is 100% powered by Cloud Underground and the Underground Nexus. And Underground Ops, who are, did I get that mixed up?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Ops and Cloud Underground.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make it possible.
Yeah, totally.
Underground Nexus. Go check it out. You heard it here first.
That's right. Businesses. So like, if you want to learn more about us, go to cloudunderground.dev. And like all the stuff that Steph's using is in the RPG of Life Incubator, and you can learn how to get started. Because honestly, the where did we come up with the RPG of Life Incubator stuff to begin with is actually helping people. Where Steph was one of the first people. Actually, you were probably you were the first one to go all the way in with we have a sponsorship model, and we launched this incubator and all those things. That's why the RPG of Life Incubator has the word incubator attached to it. because we started working with WebCraft was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took all of the processes of like, oh my gosh, okay, well, if we were to do this again, what could we possibly do better? Because then we also have to keep growing WebCraft too. So like, if we're bringing more people into that, like, how can we make it better for everyone? And so if you want to learn like the same stuff that like helped Steph get off the ground for what she's doing, our tools are, I would say, generally for like people who are probably a lot more ambitious. If you see yourself as like very ambitious and you want to do something way bigger than just like starting like a video coaching business. Coaching businesses are great, by the way. If you want to start a coaching business, you can use it to start that too. But we also focus on things like building software, building minimum viable products, like turning your manual labor into a product. So if you do coaching stuff and one day you're like, oh my gosh, I just do all this hourly work and I want a product that sells in my sleep. That's kind of like what we focus on. But anyways, yeah. So like, oh, is it working? Wow.
Yeah, it's working. I was just seeing if there is.
Does it have sound? I guess we never.
No, I'm not gonna. It has sound. People are listening.
Oh,
People are commenting.
Yeah.
And we have captions, right? Vimeo is a good platform for captions. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we're also live on YouTube, and YouTube also is pretty good with the captions. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
thanks
right.
for everyone viewing us live. We really appreciate all of you out there.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And this
Yeah.
one's not recorded and simulated live. This is like live. We're here.
You're not supposed to tell the people our
This is-
secrets,
There
Nathan.
was no video editing done here.
Yeah, this is real live.
But that's
real.
not the
Guys.
secret. I'm saying this is live. That's the whole point.
This is in real
Right.
life.
We're here.
IRL.
Yes. This
Right
is it.
now.
We're all in the same space.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Which is awesome. We're so glad you got to come and visit us.
I'm so happy to be here.
And
Thank you
we get
guys
to
for
all
having me.
collaborate and do some fun things together in person and
yeah,
not
it doesn't
talk
have
about
to all just be
business
boring
too
things.
much. But...
Online friends can be real friends.
That's right.
Yes,
we're
it's
all
so
here.
true.
Oh,
We are
we made it.
literally we all exist.
It
We're all
really is
here.
exciting. I guess I should say that too. It is exciting when you get to meet the people that you've only ever met online in real life. So
It's
pretty
true.
cool.
It's
Good
true.
feeling,
It's
yeah.
like a reminder that like the world is kind of smaller than it seems in some ways. And like we all have this like real shared experience, and like all the people, like it's not a number on the internet, by the way, everyone. It's an actual person over there. Those likes, those engagements, someone who's like, you have a view. There's someone who has a whole life and they're like doing their things, and you can have conversations with them and you can hang out and you can do super cool things together. And if you're feeling like, oh man, I wish I just had someone that I knew. If you're making posts and people are looking at what you're doing, there's a real person there. Those are real people. So we're not living
you
in a
can
simulation.
make real relationships on the internet.
Some people might argue that we
Real
are living
proof.
in a simulation. No.
That's another conversation for a different day. Though. Are we living in a simulation? I don't know, but we're doing our
are we
best.
just in the
That's all that
Matrix?
really matters.
Possible.
It's possible.
Are we really just in pods, even all just thinking that we're next to each other?
Clearly, we've been watching some sci-fi movies
A lot of sci-fi.
that is getting more and more realistic
It
to
really
current times.
I
Yeah,
mean,
now
I don't-
people can just like take pictures of someone and then record a little bit of your voice and then just like put you in a Hollywood movie, and then if you don't like call them out and be like, hey, that's me, talk to me, hold on, what do I get out of this? That's me. Like,
If I get put in a Hollywood movie, though, that's kind of on the better side
did
of
you,
things.
You're
that
Did
like,
you
that
see
was
that?
my royalties.
versus maybe some other scenarios.
did you see that Netflix show? And I don't know if anyone's seen this. What's it called? There's like the fake Netflix show or like oh my
Her
gosh,
life
it's so
becomes
scary.
a TV show,
Yeah,
and
everything in
she's
her life
not
is becoming
aware
like
of
a
it,
TV show or whatever.
like live. Yeah, that was really good. I can't remember
The
name.
one where they had the like fake Netflix, like
Oh, it was like a Black Mirror episode.
yeah, that's right. It was
that's
like
what
a
it
Black
was.
Mirror.
Yeah. Oh, that one was
Oh my goodness.
really
is
funny,
the
and it was like
bomb.
layers of like.
Trippy.
Yeah.
So trippy.
Watch Black Mirror and look for.
It's like actually,
Yeah.
you're just somebody else's simulation.
Crazy.
Right.
Stuff.
Wow.
Mind broken.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We won't. I don't think I remember enough of it to spoil. So just know it's on Black Mirror, and there's this one episode. If you binge them,
I think it's on the newest season. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Old seasons are
It'll freak
trippy
you
too.
out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
Yeah.
a good show.
If you can get
If
past
you
the
like
first
sci-fi.
episode, maybe skip the first episode.
Yeah, you could skip the first
It's a
episode.
little
Or you
rough.
could just-
It's a little rough. I feel like the first episode turns a lot of people off. So just skip that one.
yes. Or just go for it. Anyways,
Or just go for it.
that's random, but yeah, life, it could be like
Good
that.
side
That
for
could
you.
be.
Well, yeah, we're very excited. We're really excited to see where you go with WebCraft. We're always here to support you, and we're just
It's gonna be a fun
the
ride.
last thing I just want to mention before
Yeah,
we go,
definitely.
like the disability movement is billion strong. If you post anything related to inclusion or accessibility, use the hashtag #WeAreBillionStrong. There are
I love
over
that.
1 billion humans in the world that have disabilities. So, yeah, if we can make solutions that benefit 1 billion of our population, significant percentage, do it. WebCraft, here at WebCraft, we're making accessibility for all disabilities. Our focus is not just on vision loss or hearing loss or physical limitations. Our focus is on also, we do ASL interpreting. We are very
That's really
equitable
cool. Mhm.
for that side. If someone's primary method of communication is American Sign Language, we want to honor that and be equitable.
I feel like the technology has gotten a lot better for that too, as far as like even like subtitling, people signing almost.
Yeah, there's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Long way to go. And I'm not going to be accused of inspiration porn. So one of my viewers could. Let me stop. No, but we're coming there, but we're not there yet.
Not there.
We're not there yet. Because guys, remember, English is different than
Right,
American
Sign Language and English.
Yeah, that
are,
makes sense.
Different languages.
We need some computer vision specialists. By the way, at WebCraft, we're looking for a computer vision
Yes,
guy.
we are, by the way.
So,
we
yeah.
actually, definitely connect with Steph if you want to, you can talk to me too, and I'm just going to connect you with Steph too, because she's the one who understands. I understand a lot of computer things, and I have passion for trying to bridge accessibility. And one thing that really attracted me to wanting to work with Steph is that she cares about all disabilities, not oh, well, I'm here to solve this one. No, if you have accessibility needs and disabilities, her goal is to figure out how do we solve that, which is, well, even though it's a huge puzzle, it's someone has to care enough. And so that even draws my attention. So it's
for sure.
I
That's
mean,
the heart of what we do.
Yeah.
Someone needs to care enough.
Someone has to care about all of
That
it.
person is definitely me.
And I almost feel like that's
Yeah.
another way that what you're doing is innovative, is that you are trying to serve every disability and make it accessible for literally everyone.
And it's
no
not
matter
all
what your
talk.
limitation might
Yeah,
be.
so Steph, if you guys haven't followed her for a while, she actually built her own system, all the way from ground up, pulling the parts apart and doing the stuff and ripping out wires and dealing with damaged chips and then doing the stuff to replace the damaged
times.
You
chips.
learn a lot in those hands-on experiences.
Yeah, so
right?
a lot of people, they're just talking about this thing and they're saying that they're going to make no, she's been actually making it for been making it for over a year already, on top of the 4 years that you've already been working toward building knowledge to understand these things.
Yeah.
So it's a real work of passion, and it's real work, and it's actually happening, and it's not going to stop, and that's
It's not.
why you should get
And huge shout out
following.
to Cloud Underground for help making it all possible.
Well, that's
The
what we're here
work I've been
for.
able
Yeah,
to
follow
publish.
WebCraft.
I'm so happy that we could help you, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where all this goes and to see how we can help people in the future.
Yeah, follow WebCraft.
Yeah, and
Steph
dare
has
to
an
try.
awesome vision,
Dare
and
to
Steph's
try.
awesome.
Dare to try.
If you're interested in anything that we're talking about, or if you have skills in any of these areas and you want to get involved, definitely DM one of us.
Yeah,
On LinkedIn, we're here. We're here for you.
and you
we
can
want to
DIY with RPG
work
Life
with people
Incubator.
who are interested in disability advocacy as well. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And our neurodiverse friends, which to me is the whole human population. It's
I
like
think that's true.
biodiversity of the human mind.
mhm.
Oh,
All
yeah.
of our minds think differently.
Oh,
So
that's so true.
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
not create solutions that are accessible to any neurodivergence or neurotypical?
Mhm.
I don't think neurotypical exists. There's no neurotypical.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
everyone's
that's
got
true.
like
I
some
think that's
thinking
really
process
true.
true.
that's different from
Some
the
of
next.
us are more spicy than others.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
Yeah, one of our friends.
You have groupthink, then you have
used
everyone
that
else.
term the other day, neurospicy, and I was like,
Oh,
I kinda like that. Yeah.
that I would
The
identify
spectrum
with.
of like spiciness.
Neurospicy.
I think that's
There
what
we
it
go.
is. Like, are you a
Neurospicy.
mild spice or are you like a really
Discord
hot
handle?
spice? Yeah.
Right. It's like,
I
what
love
is
it.
your brain temperature?
Level 1000 at all times. Yeah, guys,
Awesome.
I identify too with mental health awareness. I have bipolar 2, ADHD, general anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder. So I'm all about, neurodiversity
Yeah, mental health
and
is
mental health awareness.
is very
Indeed.
important.
And then
yeah.
I'm incredibly neurodivergent, so I just toss people for loops. But Steph is okay with my existence. I'm like, you know what?
I'm
That's
more than
cool.
okay with it. I think your existence is pretty awesome.
important. It's important. Yeah.
And I give it back. Like, you can give it to me, and I'll just be like, oh, here's 50 messages. Sorry.
It's the
I'm
thing
so
that
sorry.
happens.
But we make it work.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I love it.
Life is about having just living and having a good time. That's kind of all that matters. It's like, if you're not going for like the good parts of life, then what else are you doing? Like, I don't know. You could just do things you hate all day, every day, but what kind of life is that? So
Yeah,
that's kind of
that's
how
not the
So
life
good.
for us.
Yeah.
So
I think we're all passionate people who like to do things that are important to us and like
yeah,
that we
Yeah.
feel are making an impact on the world. So
I think so too.
if you're like that, you should definitely go to cloudunderground.dev and join the RPG of Life Incubator. You can also,
Yeah.
once you get into that free program, you can also learn how to join the DevSecOps Dojo, which is also free. So
Yes.
we've got a lot of good resources for
community,
people who are just trying to
good
get
tools.
started, and we can help you get there.
And
Like
if
we've
you
helped
have
Stephanie.
if you have millions of dollars, our typical customer size is usually about 10 million to 100 million in revenue if you make that kind of money. So you're probably not our ideal customer. So, but if you do make that kind of money, then we can find.
But we
some
also,
ways
that's
to
why
work
we
together.
have our academy courses too, or for entrepreneurs who are building businesses.
Yeah, so
you
if
don't
you're
have
not
to
there
be
yet.
you don't have to have $100 million to like join our programs. and
Yes, our
work with
free
us
programs
and
are
learn
so
what
that
we
you
do.
can be everyone else, and we're still here for everyone. So we are here for all of you, whether you are the giant company or if you're the not giant company and you just want to come and just work with us for free. So whoever you are, we are here for whatever you need. So that's what we do. Anyways, Steph, you've met Steph now. Thank you, Steph, for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for
Follow
being here.
WebCraft.
Physically and web-y. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow WebCraft.
Yeah, follow WebCraft.
Follow
We'll
WebCraft.
put links for Stephanie and for WebCraft in the LinkedIn feed for this. And thank you everyone for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next week for more stories from the underground.